Today we're making Sichuan steak au poivre because it's tasty. And we start by coarsely crushing our numbing agent, the Sichuan red peppercorns. We're not toasting them today because they'd be subject to heat for a while, and we want to preserve that citrusy note that's often overlooked, not too fine for better textural contrast later. Perfect. Now, we have a beautiful piece of fillet steak. This is one of the few occasions I do not recommend dry brining, meaning salting ahead for more even and better penetration and tenderization. Because of the extremely flavoursome sauce that we're about to make, had we salted it beforehand, my hands would be tied. And we don't want the surface too dry because we want the help from potato starch. Had the surface been dry by the fridge too much, it would affect the ability of the potato starch to adhere to the steak. Now, whether you're in Normandy or in Sichuan, if what you're solving for is a crust, potato starch is your friend. We want a light dusting, and the starch would absorb the surface moisture and start to swell. And the swelling would help our peppercorn eventually bind to the surface. And we really press it down, help the starch. The other side. Perfect. And we let this rest for 10 minutes for the starch to absorb the moisture and bind with the peppercorns. Now, because of the high volatile oil content of the Sichuan peppercorn, they start to burn above 150 degrees Celsius. So in terms of heat management, treat it as if you're about to cook a piece of steak with butter. But of course, we're using neutral oil. And steak goes in. However, briefly, the potato starch would gelatinize, forming a layer of glue. Then, through heat, moisture would evaporate, and the starch would dehydrate to crisp up, improving adhesion and crust formation. And the objective of the exercise here is just to form the crust. Because of the thickness of the steak, we'll finish the cooking gently in the oven. Now, just a minute or two, we cook the other side. Look at this. Oof, look at that. Beautiful. They still have this beautiful red color, so you know they're not burnt. Now we cook the sides. Oh, how beautiful is that? We're still not cranking up the heat because we don't want to burn the edges. So gentle Maillard reaction, and we'll make up for the caramelization later. You can use tongs, by the way. I'm just too emotionally invested by now. Perfect. Now, onto a wire rack, into a 120 oven to finish cooking until it hits your desired doneness. For me, I prefer this on the rare side, so about 50 degrees Celsius, approximately 10 minutes, during which we'll make our sauce. In the same pan, temporarily removing most of this numbing fat, we add a generous layer of thick coconut cream. One, to give us the richness the double cream would. Two, we split the cream to extract our natural coconut oil as our cooking medium. Three, and most importantly, once we've evaporated all the moisture, we start toasting the coconut solids, giving us this nutty complexity, making up for the fact that we didn't get to achieve caramelization with the steak. And of course, given its coconut, also give us a wonderful tropical sweetness to balance the bold flavors that's about to hit us. Now, before the solids gets too toasted, we start building our aromatic base at the same time. First up, minced ginger for some heat and zesty freshness. Minced garlic for some umami depth and later caramelized sweetness. Minced scallion white for some aromatic depth and subtle sweetness. And we evaporate their water contents to concentrate their flavors. Now you can really see the oil splitting, almost shallow frying everything. Now once the whole room smells like toasted coconut and you can see a beautiful layer of fond starting to form, we lower the heat slightly and we start building our sauce. Starting with the star of the show, Sichuan fermented chili bean paste, which gives us the color, the complexity, the salinity, the umami, everything you want. We cook it out to concentrate its flavors. Now the liquid elements, starting with the light soy sauce, which will start deglassing our pan. This will give us the umami and salinity. Remember, we've not seasoned our steak at all, so we can afford to be relatively liberal with our seasoning. Now we continue to deglass. We're using Shaoxing wine today, which will give us a bit of depth and umami. You can use dry sherry, you can use water, stock, anything you fancy. Now we taste and adjust the seasoning. Oh, brilliant. Wow. Touch more coconut cream, more richness, balance the spiciness. And we add a very generous amount of scallion green. A, to give us freshness. B, to give the sauce even more body. And this will become the carrier for the sauce. Oh, look at this. Perfect. Steak is well rested. Now we can plate. Look at that. Incredible. Horrible plating. I should never plate again. And we drizzle that numbing oil we preserved earlier. And that's Sichuan steak au poivre.